Okay, so now I'm going to build a carport. And the posts are going to be made out of this 2" by 3" square rectangular tube. It's 1/4 inch thick. It doesn't look very big, but it'll be plenty strong enough. And the rest will just be made out of this 2" square tube. It's 1/8 inch thick. And I've already marked all my holes with a string across here. Yeah, and this one's not exactly in the center. I had to go over about 1 foot to get it away from that drain. Hey, how I'm cutting this out is with one of these blades from Harbor Freight that's supposed to go on a skill saw, but I put it on a grinder instead, and it seems to work all right. Okay, I got the concrete broke out in one spot, and I just used a hammer and a chisel on that, because it wasn't worth getting a jackhammer for that. Okay, I got one of the holes dug. It's 3 feet deep, so this should be pretty strong. Okay, I got one post in, and I made this bracket to hold it here, and that holds it perfectly straight. Yeah, I think it'll be easier by putting the center one in first. Then I might have to jack the other two up to make it level. Okay, the concrete's much thicker out here, and it's taking too long, and I'm getting too old to be swinging a sledgehammer. So I went and bought one of these cheap Harbor Freight demolition hammers. And if you pay the $20 for the warranty, they give you $42.50 off, so it makes it real cheap. Yeah, this demolition hammer definitely made it go a lot faster. I should have bought that before I did the first hole. And it comes with 2 bits and some other and a grease, and it comes with extra brushes for it too. And with tax and everything, it came to $158, so that wasn't bad. And each one of these posts, I'm welding a cap on it so that it can't get any water in it. And I've also welded a piece of rebar halfway in the middle of the hole so that once the concrete's hard, it can't slide down farther. Yeah, and I'm using regular concrete, not fence post mix, and mixing it in a wheelbarrow first. Takes about 4 bags each one. Yeah, and that's how much dirt I'm taking out of each one of the holes. Okay, now I got 2 posts in. Yeah, and this one I also made that bracket where it's held to this. That makes it much easier to hold this. Yeah, the second post I had to weld 2 together. It wasn't worth spending another $120 for another one of these. Yeah, and these pieces are just clamped on here to hold it where I want it. Okay, I got one of the brackets done that goes up. It's going to bolt under the eaves. And these little pieces on here are just temporary, just so I can set the piece on there and then I can turn it a little bit to get it to line up right. And how I made it is I just took a welding rod and bent it the way I wanted it. So now I'm going to make 2 more of these, and then eventually I'll do all of them once I get that piece on there where I want it. Okay, I got that piece sitting up there. Yeah, and that's just sitting on here because I have to turn it to where it's facing up just slightly. Now all these pieces I've welded a cap on the end to keep dirt and bugs out. So now I got to make 9 more of these brackets. And 3 of them have to be the opposite way. Yeah, see, this post I poured first. This one was a day later and the concrete's completely dry. I guess it just depends on how many hours out of the day it's in the sun. Yeah, and when I got no place to clamp the ground clamp, I use this magnetic clamp, and then I just bolted a piece of metal on it. And it's from a company called Mag Switch. Okay, I got all these pieces welded in. Yeah, some of the welds didn't come out perfect because it's real windy over here. Yeah, and tomorrow I'll make the rest of these brackets. And I'll probably bolt plywood on there the first 10 feet. And I'm going to do the same over here, just to block the sun and the rain. Okay, I got all the brackets welded in, so now I'm going to start welding the pieces across the top. Okay, so I got all these pieces on. Now I need to start running the pieces the other way. Yeah, I got 1/3 of the pieces across welded in. There'll be 2 more rows so the plywood's well supported when I'm done. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting the pieces in across here. And the easiest way to get them in here straight is just to put a string across there. Okay, I got all the pieces welded in on the top. And I also put pieces over here. I'm going to put plywood across that too to help block the sun and the rain. Okay, I got all the brackets up there where the lights are going to mount. Now I'll start putting all the other brackets on there for the plywood to go to. Yeah, I got a bunch of the brackets on here for the plywood to bolt to. I still got about 80 more to do. Okay, I just made 80 more of these brackets. There's probably a total of about 160 of them that are going to be on there. And it looks like I'm making something for the military. And it's just a little piece of angle iron with one hole drilled in it. Okay, so the frame's completely done. I also made 2 extra supports here because there's a 4x4 going across by the window inside. Yeah, so now I'm going to wipe the whole thing down with lacquer thinner and paint it. And I'm just going to brush paint this because it would be too hard to do it any other way. Yeah, I got the plywood up on this side. It's taken a long time to paint the frame because when it's real hot outside, the minute you touch the brush to it, the paint dries. So I can only do it for a little while at night. Yeah, and this plywood's 1/2 inch. The stuff that's going to go on top is 5/8. Yeah, so each piece of plywood I'm painting twice. And I got those 4 pieces done. I'm going to start putting those up. Yeah, I got 1/2 of the plywood on the roof. Yeah, and these pieces will go over here. Yeah, I got all the wood up there now. There's still a little bit more on the frame that I got to paint. Okay, I got 3 more sheets of plywood in there. Yeah, I just got about 3 left to do. Yeah, altogether there's going to be 17 sheets of plywood on this, 12 on the top and then 5 on the sides. Okay, I got all the plywood up now. Yeah, originally I was just going to leave these trees to block the sun and the rain, but then after thinking about it, it's a fire hazard. So I'm building this where it's going to have 16 gauge metal going across the back. That'll help to block the sun and the rain. Okay, I got 3 of the pieces welded on here. This is just scraps from another project I'm putting on here. And I'm also going to put a piece on this end. Oh, and the frame is made out of 1-inch black pipe. Okay, so I got all the pieces welded on there now. Now I'm just going to go over these seams with caulking and then I'll paint it. Okay, I got it all painted now. And now I just got 2 8-foot lights I'm going to put up. Okay, I got one of the lights up here. And what I'm going to do is knock this knockout out and use one of these pieces. That way both lights will be connected together and I can just run the wires right through. Okay, I got both of the lights up. Now I got to run the conduit and drill a hole through the wall. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting the conduit in. And when you drill this hole, you always want to drill it from the inside out through the stucco. Then you can get it right next to the 2x4 where you can clamp it down. Okay, I got the conduit bent up. I just drilled another hole in the light so I wouldn't have to run it all the way over to the other end. And these little straps that hold the conduit, I just welded it to it. And I've got the wire already ran to here. Now I just got to put a light switch in the box. Yeah, and I just mounted the box there for now. And how I did that was use this little Milwaukee drill to get in there to put the screws in. And I'm going to leave the wires a lot longer than I need it just in case I move it sometime later. Okay, I got the lights done. And eventually I'll probably move this to where all 3 switches are together. But for now this will work. Yeah, next I'm going to cut these trees down and pour concrete here. Then I'll get a little bit more space out of it. Yeah, I noticed a lot of people say these 8-foot lights, the bulbs are too expensive. But you can buy a box of 15 of these bulbs for $58 at Lowe's, and they seem to last a lot longer than the 4-foot ones. Okay, all the trees are gone. Now I got to dig this out and get the stumps out and the rocks out of here. Yeah, I took that Harbor Freight demolition hammer and removed this border that was around here, and then I can make the concrete flat. Okay, I got this all dug out, and I got the stumps out. It wasn't easy with just a sawzall. And now I'm going to put one post in the middle just so that no cars can roll through the fence. Okay, I got the post in the ground. This is just a piece of 3-inch square tube that I had left over from another project. So now I'm going to do the rebar and the forms. Yeah, I got the rebar in there and part of the forms. I'm going to do this in 3 sections because when you're mixing it in a wheelbarrow it starts to set up if you do too much at once. Yeah, I got one section of concrete done. And I got the forms done for the other section, and I got enough concrete to do that. And probably tomorrow or the next day I'll do the center part. Okay, I got 2 sections of the concrete done. Okay, so I got the concrete done. Now all that's left to do is just the roof. Okay, I got the stuff to do the roof. And since I'm going with a metal roof, I had to order this stuff, and it comes cut to the right length. And I'm also going to make a border around the outside for the flashing to go to. That's what these 2x4s are for. Okay, so now I'm putting the 2x4s around the edge. That's just for the flashing to go to. And how I marked all these holes, I laid one panel on there and did it where it's right in the middle of these ribs. That way when I screw the panel down I won't accidentally hit one of these screws. Okay, and I put this flashing on here just to make the water go straight down, not back under the wood. Okay, I got all the tar paper on here. Okay, so I drilled the holes in the end through all of them. The ones in the middle I'm going to have to figure out where they go as I get it up there. Yeah, I got 4 of the panels up here. It takes a long time because I got to measure everything out so I don't screw through into the metal. Okay, I got all the pieces on except the last piece, which I'm going to have to cut. Okay, I got all the pieces on. That last piece that I cut on the end, I bent the edge up just to keep the water from running off the side. And when the flashing's on, you won't be able to see that. Okay, I got most of the flashing on, except that little end and the other piece. Yeah, and this kind here is made for if it's only got 1 inch of drop. The kind that's got a steep slope on it doesn't come down as far. Yeah, so what I had to do along this back side is take and drill and tap this and put some flathead screws in it and mount this 2x4 on here so I'd have some place to mount the flashing to. What I should have did is had the plywood hanging over a little bit, but I didn't do that because the trees were here at that time. Okay, it's all finished. Yeah, it took about 6 weeks and about $3,000 to build this. Yeah, originally I was just going to buy one of those metal carports. But the problem is the concrete's not real level here, or real flat. And they have a bar that connects all the legs together. And I didn't want that because I wanted to be able to roll stuff through here. And it would also be right in front of that door. Okay, in the next video what I'm going to do is rip all the sheetrock off in here, then do the electrical, put the sheetrock back up, put the lights up, run the air lines. I've got a bunch of brackets I've made to hang all the hoses and cords on the walls. I'll put that up. I might build some shelves, and then I'll move everything in here, and then the whole thing will be finished.